Hold up.
Yo, what's going on guys, it is Foxy298 here and welcome back to a brand new video for you guys today on my channel. Today we are back with round 11 of my F1 2016 career mode season 3 with Red Bull Racing, and yeah, sorry I haven't uploaded in the past few days. Basically I've been very busy with a lot of work going on, so I've had to put YouTube aside for a little bit, but nevertheless we are back here for this Hungarian Grand Prix. And if you do enjoy the video, drop a like on it, that'd be absolutely awesome. Subscribe if you have not subscribed to my channel, it would mean an absolute load to me. And yeah, this video is scheduled to come out just after the Brazilian Grand Prix, and I'm recording this exactly 1 hour before the Brazilian Grand Prix. So let me know in the comment section down below, guys, what were your opinions on the Brazilian Grand Prix, because when this video is released, the Brazilian Grand Prix would have finished, and we may or may not have a new Formula 1 World Champion. Can Nico Rosberg take the title in Brazil in real life? We'll have to wait and find out. But yeah, let me know your thoughts on the Brazilian Grand Prix in the comment section down below, because like I said before, this will be released after the race, so it means that everyone gets the chance to watch the race and then watch this video. So a bit of F1 double fun there. But anyway, as you saw on the laptop then, as I was talking about the Brazilian Grand Prix, we are here for the Hungarian Grand Prix, yeah, this is going to be a very difficult race for us, unfortunately. And the reason for it is Hungary is probably my weakest circuit on the calendar in terms of my natural speed against the AI. They're definitely a lot faster than I am, and I definitely need to work on that in future. Into the practice sessions we go. Track acclimatization, we actually passed it very nicely there. Into the qualifying simulation run, we also got a purple on this one. For some reason, the tyre wear test hasn't come through, unless I put that one last. No, okay, it just didn't come through, but you'll see it here, time management there, 50 points. We did actually get purple on every single lap, so very well done indeed. Yeah, for some reason it didn't even show it, but never mind. Looking at the session objectives then, these are going to be objectives for qualifying, she wants us to get a front row start, beat Ricciardo and beat Lewis Hamilton in the driver rivalry. So we're coming around the final corner now here. Kimi Raikkonen so far is the fastest man on circuit. He's gone around on the soft tyres. Nico Rosberg also quicker on the soft tyres, but then I qualify on the super soft tyres, and safely into Q2 we go, just in front of Daniel Ricciardo, who I believe was on the soft tyres as well. So a lot of people are going for the harder tyre compound for the Q1. I just decided to go with the softest compound all the way through, because that was just the strategy I went with. Sebastian Vettel in Q2 sets the fastest lap, and that is quickly beaten by myself as we go and set the fastest lap time. But Daniel Ricciardo, on fine form here at the Hungaroring, goes 2/10 quicker than my lap, and gets himself firmly into as the quickest driver for Q2. Moving on into Q3, I gave it absolutely everything I could to try and get it onto pole, and as you can see here, I managed to set a 1:20.7, which I thought was an absolutely astonishing lap time, until Daniel Ricciardo literally absolutely battered me and went pretty much half a second quicker than I did. So as soon as I saw that lap time, I thought, okay, we're going to be in for a very difficult weekend if Daniel has just gone half a second faster than what I've managed to do. So it's going to be a very difficult weekend indeed to try and beat Daniel Ricciardo, but what we're going to do is we're just going to have to give it everything we can and see how we pan out. As you can see then, we get some more resource points, which we're looking to upgrade for the Belgian Grand Prix. That's my next race that I want to upgrade. In the driver rivalry, still close, but we are in front of Lewis Hamilton. And then listening to the voicemail, she wants me to do the same as the qualifying goals, get second place, beat Ricciardo and beat Hamilton. So that's it for practice and qualifying, so let's get into the race for this Hungarian Grand Prix.
It's always wonderful to come back to the lively Hungaroring. A popular destination this, nice and close to the beautiful city of Budapest, with some exciting racing to boot. Who can forget Michael Schumacher pushing his old teammate Rubens Barrichello up towards the pit wall in 2010, or those great races of 2014 and 2015 as well. Located 12 miles northeast of the Hungarian capital Budapest, the 14 corners of the Hungaroring are steeped in history and prestige. Overtaking has always been difficult on this technical 2.7-mile circuit, but the last few years in particular have turned up some exceptional races. Let's hope we're in for another one here today. With me to enjoy it all is Anthony Davidson, a man who made his Grand Prix debut here with Minardi back in 2002. So, Ant, this is a bit of a special one for you, I'd imagine.
Yeah, I'd say so. I also stood in to commentate on Jensen's win in 2006, and as I was a test driver for Honda at the time, you can imagine that was quite an emotional Grand Prix. It's also a tough circuit on the drivers, this one too. Lots of long, slow corners that require a lot of patience from inside the car. Plus, it's a very downforce heavy circuit. I mean, it's all relative, of course, but if you're lacking a bit in downforce, or if you've got a bit of an imbalance in the setup, this is definitely one of the worst places to have to deal with that.
If we keep up this level of performance, I think you'll be promoted to #1 driver. So let's make sure we get a good result today.
So before the off, let's remind ourselves of yesterday's qualifying session with a look at the starting grid. It was a good showing from Red Bull in qualifying, and Daniel Ricciardo starts from pole position and a Red Bull alongside. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Hamilton, Rosberg, Sebastian Vettel and Bottas, Massa, Perez, Raikkonen and Nico Hülkenberg, Sainz, Kvyat, Fernando Alonso and Button, Grosjean, Gutierrez, Kevin Magnussen and Jolyon Palmer, Nasser and Wehrlein, Marcus Ericsson and Rio Haryanto completes the grid. And with preparations almost complete, let's head down to the track.
Right then guys, so as you can see we are here for the Hungarian Grand Prix on the grid. So we're going to be starting on the red marked super soft tyres, and then we're going to switch to the yellow marked soft tyres, take those to the end of the race and see how we go. So as you can see, we are now starting the formation lap, and my objective is kind of basically clear. I've got to get in front of Ricciardo into turn 1 to have any sort of chance of winning the race, because quite frankly I'm not as quick as the AIs around here in Hungary. Never have been, never will be probably. But anyway, as you can see we're on the grid now. We've got 3, 4, now 5 red lights here for this Hungarian Grand Prix, and it's lights out and away we go. As you can see now we've got a good start here. Daniel Ricciardo just alongside there. He's actually going to get a better secondary fade to the start, so I'm going to tuck into the slipstream just slightly here, and then I'm going to stay back on the inside line here. Down into turn 1 we go, and we have taken the lead away from Daniel Ricciardo. A fantastic start for myself here, and now we can look to try and build potentially a little advantage. Yellow flag's actually behind there, so someone's obviously spun or had some sort of contact which has caused yellow flags, but unlike the last Grand Prix in Silverstone, there is no safety car for it. So as you can see, we're going to continue to press onwards now and making the run up towards the blind crest of turn 4, and well, it's not really blind in terms of the camera angle, but it is in real life. And as you can see, coming around this middle sector is in fact where the AIs gains nearly half a second of their lap times overall against me, so I definitely want to get myself sorted in this specific area. As you can see, we're coming now through this tight and twisty middle sector which I was on about, and as you can see we're running very wide here, trying to get these tyres up the temperature. Of course they are very cold at the moment, and that's going to cause us to have catastrophic understeer, which you saw through that part of the middle sector of Ricciardo. Right behind us, in fact, Valtteri Bottas in the Williams has actually got in front of both Lewis Hamilton and Nico Rosberg. So a nice showing there from Bottas here in these early phases of the race, showing that Williams has got a little bit of pace here and could potentially be our closest challenger for the win today in front of Mercedes. But as you can see, coming around the final corner, we're going to chuck the car into rich fuel mixture to give us as maximum engine power as possible. Here we go, setting the fastest lap of the race, but it's not over yet because Daniel Ricciardo is going to have a run at us into turn 1. We're going to give him that outside line, and we're going to brake nice and hard into turn 1. And Daniel Ricciardo has attempted a switchback though. Will he make this switchback work? No, we actually get better traction coming out of turn 1. Ricciardo's going to have to sit behind, and down into turn 2 we go. Ricciardo is going to be good, but we actually go a bit wide into turn 2, and that's going to compromise us into turn 3 as well. And Ricciardo's got fantastic traction coming out of turn 3 up into the run towards turn 4. Will he make this move stick? No, he doesn't. We actually go wider, and Daniel Ricciardo loses out, and so we managed to keep the place in front of Daniel Ricciardo, but also Valtteri Bottas has stolen a place from Ricciardo, which means now that we are in first, Bottas is now in second, and Ricciardo is third. So pretty entertaining start to this Grand Prix, but let's get a replay of everything that happened at the start. So as you can see, it was a very good start indeed for myself and Daniel Ricciardo, basically getting the exact same starts as each other. As you can see then, as we make the run down towards turn 1, we go down the inside of Daniel Ricciardo. Valtteri Bottas actually makes a lunge down the inside of both Mercedes drivers, and he actually makes the move stick on both of them. So very bold and brave move from Valtteri Bottas, and you can see it there, look, both Williams cars actually making inroads in the Mercedes. So Valtteri Bottas gets in front of Hamilton and Rosberg, and Felipe Massa has got himself in front of Hamilton in front. So a very good job there for the Williams team. and they'll definitely be happy with that start of the race. So as you can see now, coming around this middle sector, or the start of the middle sector, you can see we lost the back end of the car there just once we've gone to the exit of the curbs. You can see coming into the chicane, we take a little bit more of the curbing than we kind of really need to. We didn't need to take as much curbing there, but it doesn't really matter too much. As you can see then, coming around this tight and twisty part, you can see this is where we ran wide here, as we've got a bit of understeer in the car as we try and get these tyres up to temperature and into a good operating window, really. You can see that Daniel Ricciardo is very close behind, and like I said at the start of the video, of course, Daniel Ricciardo is very, very fast here, and he's definitely going to be a force to be reckoned with in this Grand Prix, so we're just going to have to do what we can. Coming around the second to last corner, you can see a very nice panning shot of all the drivers coming around, and then round the final corner we go. Daniel Ricciardo up in front at the moment, with myself in the lead of this race, and of course, we normally do show our highlights of the first lap at the end, literally as we cross the line, but there's actually a bit of action before that, which is why we're showing it now. So as you can see, this is when Ricciardo came alongside us. He actually went for a switchback move, so he did try it, Ricciardo, and fair play on him for giving it a go, but it didn't quite work for him here. We actually got better acceleration coming out of turn 1. Braking hard down into turn 2, we did actually have the moves cemented and perfect, but you can see how much wider I ran, so I tried to turn myself as much as I could to get turn 3 right, but unfortunately I was just too wide. Daniel Ricciardo had better traction than myself, and he did go for a move, Bravery, into turn 4. It was never really going to pay off though. No one really makes moves into turn 4, and it didn't pay off for him. We stay in the lead, but on to lap 3 of the Grand Prix, as you can see on your screens now, we've got Valtteri Bottas behind us, and unfortunately, that Williams is very, very fast in a straight line, and we need to be worried about him. So as you can see, coming down the pit straight now, we're actually well out of the slipstream of these drivers. I don't want to see them, but we shove a car down into the braking line into turn 1. Valtteri Bottas was actually nowhere near trying to make a move on us, so I quickly swept inwards because I didn't want them to try and make a late braking move. So I forced the AIs to brake earlier than they should really maybe have done, and made sure that I've cemented my place in front. Moving a lap later then into lap 4 of the Grand Prix now, and again, Valtteri Bottas is still there, followed by Ricciardo, followed by Rosberg. So the top 4, all of us are starting to pull away from the rest of the field, but we are still, actually no, the top 5, because Hamilton's there as well. But as you can see, we run very wide on the exit of the final corner, and that's going to give Valtteri Bottas a good chance to have a run at us down to turn 1. Bottas goes flying past the Williams. Ricciardo's going to follow him onwards, but he doesn't make a move around the outside, so we're going to go late braking down the inside of Valtteri Bottas here, and we managed to maintain the lead of the Hungarian Grand Prix, but we almost lost the lead there. Ricciardo's fallen back into the clutches of the 2 Mercedes drivers, and it's all going on here at the Hungaroring, and it's Valtteri Bottas and the Williams, surprisingly, that's really putting us under pressure in this Grand Prix, not Ricciardo and not the 2 Mercedes drivers. So moving on to lap 5 of the Grand Prix, and once again we are back where we normally are, at this pit straight of death it seems right now, because that's all we seem to be having right now. As you can see, we're coming now down the pit straight here. We're going to tuck out of the slipstream of Valtteri Bottas like we normally do. On to lap 6 of the Grand Prix here. Daniel Ricciardo is actually going for a move on Valtteri Bottas here, down the inside into turn 1. I've got no troubles behind me in terms of the AIs attacking me, but Daniel Ricciardo has made an overtake here on Valtteri Bottas, and it is back to a Red Bull 1-2 here at this Hungarian Grand Prix. So good overtake there from my teammate Ricciardo, who moves himself up into second place, and myself still leading this race at the moment. But of course you can clearly see how much worse I am against the AIs around here. On to lap 6 of the Grand Prix, and this is our pit lap. This is when we're going to be coming into the pits and changing onto the yellow mark soft tyres. Ricciardo and Rosberg are going to stay out another lap, whereas myself, Bottas and Hamilton are all going to come in and make our one and only pit stops for this Grand Prix. So as you can see, coming into the pits now, you can see Hamilton in first, then Bottas, and then myself. As you can see, the Red Bull mechanics, can we get those tyres on? And why are you holding me up? Oh, great. So I actually got held up in the pits, and now Bottas is in front of us. So thanks, Red Bull mechanics. Thanks for costing me time. The pit stop was actually only 3 seconds, so Williams obviously having an almighty pit stop, and we know in real life how good their pit stops are. But unfortunately, we have come out in the worst amount of traffic I possibly could have wanted. I literally didn't want anything to trouble me, because Ricciardo and Rosberg are so much quicker than myself that I needed a clean lap. But no, I have a bad pit stop. Bottas is in front of me, but we go down the inside of Pascal Wehrlein into turn 2, giving us then a very good run. We actually go around the inside into turn 3 of Esteban Gutierrez. A fantastic move there. Bottas trying to find his way past Kevin Magnussen through the run up into turn 4 here. We're going to go down the inside of Bottas into turn 5, and we get that job done. So the position we lost on Bottas, we instantly got back, as he's trying to fight his way through the traffic as well as I. We're trying to make inroads though down the inside of Magnussen into the chicane. We don't give a damn right now. We're just trying to get past all this pieces of traffic as quick as we can. And next up the field is Jolyon Palmer in the Renault, so hopefully we can get past him as quickly as we possibly can. Again, we don't want to be held up. As you can see from this helicopter cam, you can already see the amount of speed that I've got on Jolyon Palmer, and we're going to go for a lunge down the inside here. Nice late braking maneuver, no problems with that. Down the inside, got the corner perfectly, and in front of Palmer we go. And that's kind of it in terms of the traffic. So we cleared that, but did that cost us time? We need to find out. Ricciardo is currently in the pits, as well as Nico Rosberg, coming around the final corner here, down the long pit straight. Did we manage to stay in front of Ricciardo and Rosberg? Did we? No. There they are. They're at the pits there. That's them on the right-hand side of your screens. And Rosberg and Ricciardo stayed out one lap extra, and they avoided the traffic. And it's paid off for Ricciardo and Rosberg. They both stay in front. And unfortunately for myself, we have not managed to maintain the lead of this race. As soon as everyone comes into the pits, we will be in a net third place in this Grand Prix. And I don't know, can we try and catch Ricciardo and Rosberg? Of course, they were very fast. Moving on to lap 12 of the Grand Prix, we're kind of on our own right now, unfortunately. We're quite lonely here. Ricciardo and Rosberg are pulling away out front. Bottas, I'm managing to maintain a gap over, but Danica Fiat, unfortunately, his race is over. He will no longer be taking any part of it. I'm going to go find out why. So basically, as you can see, making the run up towards turn 4, Danica Fiat's engine blows up, and that's the end of his race. So unfortunately, Danny's engine just didn't want to do it anymore, and he is out of the Grand Prix. So unfortunate for him. Moving on to lap 18 of the Grand Prix, though, the final lap, Daniel Ricciardo, my teammate, picks up his first win of the season, so I can't really complain because my teammate has come through and won. Nico Rosberg is going to take home second place in this Grand Prix. Those guys were a long way in front of myself here in third. So we're going to be taking home third place, which overall, I mean, we started second and we only managed to finish third, so we did lose a position, but Hungary's one of my, if not weakest circuit on the calendar. So, am I disappointed? No, not really. Consistency is definitely what we need in this Drivers' Championship. But if we're going to talk about the race overall then, basically, you can see here that Ricciardo won the race. On the super soft tyres, it was definitely clear that I was holding up the 4 cars behind me. So Hamilton, Rosberg, Bottas and Ricciardo all were pressurising me at the start of the race as soon as I had the lead. I was able to defend against them, yes, but it was quite clear that those guys were much faster. Wait, why is Raikkonen hovering the... Did anyone just see that? Literally, as soon as Alonso was coming out of the car, Raikkonen was just hovering in the air. What the hell? Right, I'm going to zoom in on that as soon as I finish recording this. But that was weird as hell. That was so creepy. Anyway, though, as we go on to that weird glitch there. Daniel Ricciardo, yeah, I was not as quick as Ricciardo, Bottas, Rosberg and Hamilton at the start of the race, but I was able to defend in front of them. The pit stop was annoying because we lost out to Bottas, losing his time. And then, unfortunately, we rejoined in front of the traffic, which meant that we had to try and negotiate that. We probably could have stayed in front then of Ricciardo and Rosberg and potentially battled them to the end of the race, but it wasn't to be, and we had to settle for third place, which is okay. But Lewis Hamilton actually finished all the way down in 7th, so he had a couple of problems in his Grand Prix. So as you can see in the driver's standings, we actually increase our advantage in the driver's standings, despite us only finishing in 3rd, with Lewis Hamilton losing out after he only finished 7th. Ricciardo stays in 3rd, and Rosberg still in 4th. So actually, it's not a bad weekend. We actually increased our advantage, which is something I wasn't expecting. And we stay in front of Mercedes in the constructors' standings, so all is well from where we are. So, guys, if you have enjoyed this Hungarian Grand Prix, it would mean absolutely loads if you wouldn't mind just clicking the like button to show that you do still enjoy this series. And also, if you wouldn't mind subscribing to my channel, that would be absolutely awesome. And I really do appreciate every single one of you that tunes into my videos and shows the support, either by messaging me on Xbox or by putting it in the comments. I really do appreciate it. But until then, guys, I'll see you for the next race, which is the German Grand Prix. Take care. Peace.